Welcome back to the Elise Surkov podcast. I want to share something really short and sweet that I know is going to suck to hear, but it's important that you hear it, so much so that I basically tell every single woman who walks through our doors for our program, which is that at some point, you're going to want to quit. And I remember when I first started in this the online space, I should say, I was very much focused on macro counting, and I created a group coaching program that started off with a free 5-day macro count, which was called Macro U. And then we went into FMA, which is Functional Macros Academy. And every single week, I would do a different module. And the very first week was specifically about expectation management. And if you're a parent, you can probably relate to this because you've likely learned that, for example, when your kids were little and you took them to the park and then you wanted to leave, if you're like, okay, it's time to go, there's like major tantrums happening. And that's happening because there was no expectation set up as to what was going to happen when you got to the park. And then somewhere along the line, you probably saw another parent like give a 10-minute warning, a 5-minute warning, a last-minute warning. And you're like, oh, I get it now. And so it is saying like, hey, just so you know, we're going to go to the park. And then it's going to be time to leave, and that's going to suck, and you're not going to want to do it, but we're going to have to do it anyways. This is called expectation management, setting up the parameters of what's going to happen next. And I do the exact same thing in our program where I say, hey, in case you don't think this is going to happen, it's going to happen at some point, at least once, if not more than once. You're going to want to quit. And if you can just put that thought right to the side, so that when it happens, you're like, oh, here it is. This is what she was talking about. Then you're going to realize that it's okay, that you're going to want to quit, and that's okay. So again, going back to parenting, put your hands up if you've just ever been like, fuck, I can't do this anymore. All right. So like flash back to when my kids were toddlers and they're running around and they spill something and they crap their pants and you're running around. I mean, how many of us have walked around with like, I don't know, breast milk on your shirt, shit on your shirt? There's been something, right? You come up, it's like a hot mess. I'll never forget. I was at a mall meeting two of my friends who just had babies, very recent to my middle one. And my friend Annette, shout out to Annette, came and she showed up and she came crying, and her like, her milk was like spilling out of her boobs and everything. And we looked at her and we're like, okay, you're having like one of those days, right? Like at that point, my friend Annette wasn't thinking, I love motherhood. This is so great. She probably was like, fuck this shit. I quit. I said this on my daughter's first night. I say this all the time, that her first night, so my first night as a mom, her first night on this planet outside of my body was the worst night of my life. This kid just wouldn't stop crying. And at 6:30 in the morning, the nurse came by and she's like, how are you doing? And I literally picked my baby up and said, please take her from me. I hadn't slept in like 45 hours at this point. And she took her to go get her hearing tests, which by the way, she failed at the time. But I remember thinking, if this is what I'm signed up for, I'm out. Like, I can't do this. But like, now that I've gone through that, I understand that there's many moments as a mom, as a parent, as a human, where I want to quit the shit that I'm doing or that I've signed up for. And one thing that my parents really instilled in me as a little girl, as a teenager, as a young adult is like, we don't fucking quit. Like when you sign up for, you commit to something, you follow through with it. Okay. You can change the parameters of it, manage expectations. That's what it comes down to. So I want to just bring this back into your journey. Chances are you've tried a lot of things except for not quitting. Say that again. Chances are you've tried a lot of things except for not quitting. What would happen if you didn't quit when you wanted to? What if after 21 days or your 75-day hard or your whatever it is you're doing, your keto, your I'm just going to go to the gym every day, I'm just whatever it is that you've decided to do maybe on your own, what if you didn't quit? What if you just changed things a little bit? What if instead of intermittent fasting, you stuck to a calorie deficit? What if instead of, keto, you just maybe went low carb? What if you loosened up and went into maintenance instead of always thinking you have to diet, and you didn't quit because you're going to want to? Think back to any new skill you've learned. Did you always want to continue? And I know for me, I don't want to even say a perfectionist, but I'm someone who loves to be good at things. And when you're someone who likes to be good at things, you have to practice being shitty at it first. And that's a hard skill to master. But we can't get good until we're shitty first. You got to get all the shitty reps under your belt so that you can get better. Right. And so it's like, when I first started teaching at the college, shout out to all my students who listen. Thank you very much. I wanted to quit after day 2. So here I am, being an expert in my field. I am now a college instructor teaching health fitness trainers, mentoring students. I'm relearning all the things I learned in university. And not only that, I'm also teaching to massage therapy students, and I'm subbing for the massage therapy teachers. So I'm learning neurology. I'm doing physiology, which I fucking love physiology, but forgot a lot of shit. So here I am thinking, this fucking sucks. I don't want to do it. And I come home and Albert is like, how was it? And I'm like, it sucks. I quit. And he's like, oh, okay, we're here now. He's like, you do this all the time. When you start something that's really hard, you just kind of want to quit because it's just so hard. And I'm like, yeah, we have to obviously redefine what hard is and understand that we are going to want to quit. So what if you went into now, when you're bringing this into your goal, let's say it is, I want to lose those last 10 pounds. I want to get in shape. I want to change my physique. I want to optimize my hormone function. I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to wear a crop top. I want to walk with confidence on the beach in a bikini, whatever the fuck you want. You have to ask yourself, how many, not if, but how many times am I going to want to quit? And what am I going to do when that happens? So if you're working one-on-one with a coach or you're working with us, you tell your coach, hey, I want to fucking quit. And we'll say, got it, noted, keep fucking going. And we're going to coach you through that. But what if you're doing it alone? Maybe you need an accountability buddy. Maybe you just need a journal where it's like, hey, when I quit, I just want you to know that I want to quit. It's like, what was a skill I was learning? I can't remember. Maybe when I first started running long distances, something that was physically hard. I wanted to put my hand up and be like, this is fucking hard. And someone to be like, okay, I see you, Elise. I acknowledge you. This is hard. You want to quit, right? Yeah, got it. But you can't. You're just going to keep fucking going because that's what we need to do to get the results. Now, if your goal is weak, if it's not strong enough, quitting is going to become easier. So let's say, for example, you want to drop 10 pounds in 3 months so you can, I don't know, wear that 2-piece in Mexico. And you want to quit and you're 6 weeks in and you're like, fuck it. You know what? I'll just wear 1 piece. It's not that big of a deal. I don't care. And then you quit. Okay. That's because your goal just isn't strong enough. Your why. Why do you want to lose these 10 pounds? What's going to happen after Mexico? But if your why is really strong, okay, and this is what we do in our program too, we really dig into why do you want this? How is your life going to change? How are you going to show up better for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your job, for your partner? How is this going to influence and impact your life? Is it going to, and we work with a lot of high professional, I call them overachievers, overachieving women. So a lot of our women are like, I need to be more confident so I can get in front of my team, so I can get back on stage, so I can get in front of my crowd, so I can present the way I want to, so I can show up with the confidence in a room full of men, and still feel like I can own the room. So how is this going to change you? Why do you want this? And when you want to quit, not if, because you will, when you want to quit, you've got to lean on your why. Why do you want this? Why is this so important to you? And I remember when I was training for my marathon, I wanted to quit every fucking time. In fact, when I went to the gym this morning, I wanted to fucking not go. But I think about my why. Why do I want this? Well, right now, why do I want to be in the physical shape that I'm in? Because I'm 40 fucking 6 years old. It is not going to get easier for me. I am only getting older. My joints are only getting less mobile. I'm feeling the signs of aging. I'm hard on my body. I need to recover more. I need to spend that time, continue to get the reps in so that I reach my goal of being 90 and wiping my own butt, which has always been my goal. And I want to look fucking hot along the way because let's face it, it's okay to be vain. That's half the reason why we're here, right? So when your why is strong, the reason to keep going is easier. But if I can just leave you with this little piece of advice and put a nice, pretty little pink bow on this episode, it is that you are going to want to quit, and that's okay. So if you're sitting in your car right now listening to this, or you're on a walk listening to this, or I don't know, you're listening to this during your workout and you're like, fuck, I really want to quit. I'm going to say, I see you, girl. I hear you. Keep fucking going. Expect it. Be unsurprised when it happens. and let me know how this lands for you. I'd love to hear some feedback. So tell me, did you want to quit? How many times? What do you do? Tell me what your why is. I'll put all the links below of how you can reach out to me. And of course, if you need more help in staying committed to your why, then I would love for you to check out my program and how my team and I can help you. Functionallyfitwithelise.com. You can find me on social, on Facebook. You can email me, website me, watch this on YouTube. Lots of ways to work with me. And I hope I see you and speak to you on the next one.